Hey, this is Steve from eithercareer.wordpress.com, and in today's video I wanted to talk about two things pretty quickly. First, I wanted to do a follow-up on my current project, and second, I wanted to talk a little bit about a book that I just finished reading that I think some of you out there might enjoy. First off, I received an email from a semi-regular reader who I've talked to via email a couple times before, and I've actually read some of their stuff. They're real good. They write some really good stuff. Just asking me, how's the current project going? I haven't posted on it a whole lot. They want to know if I've been running any problems and if they could offer any help. And, I wrote back and it's like, no, the project's coming along. Pride is Forever is tinkering along. Like I said, or like I've written about a couple of times, I ran into some problems with the outline, but I've since worked through all those a couple weeks ago and wrote a little bit about it. And now I'm just in the part of just fleshing out all of my beats and all of my scenes and sequences. The way I work is very much in a linear fashion regarding I have to do these certain steps or else I just can't get into the rhythm of screenwriting. And part of that involves doing a very, very thorough outline and then fleshing out all those scenes and sequences and a lot of conversations and stuff before I actually start writing the screenplay. Not everybody works well this way, but over the course of writing a couple screenplays, I found this is what is the most effective for me. So when I was going through Served Cold, which is the last screenplay that I wrote about and documented on the blog, I talked a lot about this, and I posted a lot. And one of the reasons I'm not posting now is during the fleshing out process of all the beats and stuff, there's not a lot to show. I can't just say, oh, I got stuck on, beat 11 of Act 2B or whatever. It's hard to make an interesting post about that. So I won't post something, or I'll just post a video or an article or just some other observation I've made or a movie I've talked about. So that's why a lot of those posts are on the blog right now. But other than that, the project's coming along. I've worked through all of Act 1 and all of Act 2, a good deal, about all of Act 2A, a good deal of Act 2B, and a good deal of Act 3. While I move pretty much in a linear fashion, I'm not scared to jump ahead if something pops into my head for a certain scene or sequence and outline some of that stuff. And I've done that already in Act Scene 2B and Scene 3, in Act 3, because a lot of the stuff that occurs there is very non-fiction oriented. So the main story beats and stuff that have happened there and the sequences I already have a real good grasp on, and I know what's going to happen because they're pretty faithful to what happened in real life. So a lot of that stuff I've already fleshed out, even in just my brainstorming process. So I'm hoping to have the outline completely fleshed out by the end of this week. When I do, I'll put a post up and have an announcement about that. So I just wanted to touch base. I'm not going to really post too much more about Pride is Forever until I finish that outline. So if anybody else comes across this or reads the blog, that's where I'm at with that. And thanks for any offers for assistance. I appreciate it. And it's really cool to know that there are some people out there who come across the blog and see the videos and offer assistance, just like I try to offer it to anybody else who's interested in starting. We're not experts, but it's a fun hobby to have, and I like to introduce people to it, as a hobby, because screenwriting's a lot of fun, and it really makes you enjoy movies that much more. The second thing I wanted to talk about today is a book review. I just finished reading Badass by Ben Thompson. Now, if you're not familiar with Badass, Ben Thompson has a blog, Badass of the Week, and I found that blog. I don't remember if I heard it on a podcast somebody talked about, but I found the blog, I think, in October. And I asked my wife for this book for Christmas, and I got it, and I was really happy. Basically, Badass is... Ben Thompson does a post once a week of some figure, whether it's fictitious or nonfiction or completely fake, real, it doesn't matter, just somebody, and talks about why they're a badass. You go anywhere from Genghis Khan to Stephen Colbert. It's a wide variety of people. And this book came out and cataloged some of his favorites. And there's some really, really interesting characters and people in this. I believe everybody in here is real. Everybody cataloged in the book is a legitimate person who actually existed in history. But there's some real cool ones, like Peter Francisco, who's actually on the back cover. But my wife teaches American history and government, AP government in high school. She was a political science major, loves history, loves American history. And I talked to her about Peter Francisco, who fought in the Revolution for the States. Dude ran around with a broadsword. And I mean, just was ridiculous. Fighting during the Revolutionary War with just, I mean, dude was a giant with a huge sword. But just the stuff some of the people managed to pull off in history, it's really, really good. You got characters like George Patton in here, Genghis Khan. Who else is in here? A bunch of pirates. Patton. Bruce Lee is in here. There's just a lot of really, really cool characters. And if you're looking for inspiration on trying to come up with a character for an adventure film, or really inspiration on how to set up with a really fantastic type of adventure hero, or even a villain. There's a lot of villains in here as well. This is a book you really need to check out. It's pretty cheap. I mean, in paperback, what's the cover price is $16.99. I'm sure you can pick it up cheaper used on Amazon, or even new on Amazon. But if not, $17 isn't a whole lot to ask for. And it's just, it's a really, really fun book. And if you don't want to pick up the book, check out badassoftheweek.com. And Ben just has a real fun writing style, and you can get a sense he really enjoys writing about this. So once again, it's the book called Badass by Ben Thompson. Check it out. I give it 5 stars. It's just a lot of fun to read. It's not up there with, well, 5 stars in the fun factor. It's you're not gonna be able to write any history papers on some of the stuff included in here from an educational standpoint, but from a narrative standpoint, it's just a lot of fun to read, and I'd encourage you to check it out. So until next time, this is Steve from myothercareer.wordpress.com. Keep writing.